Okay, this video is for 2.1g, conditional statements, and we're going to look at how to take an original conditional statement and write the converse of it. Let's do a couple examples from this very first part. Let's look at 4 and 5. 4 says, if an angle measures less than 90 degrees, then it is an acute angle. What we want to do is identify what our hypothesis and our conclusion is. Our hypothesis is the if part of the statement, of the original statement, and our conclusion is the then part. So our hypothesis is underlined in blue, our conclusion is underlined in red. Now the converse of our original statement, we want to flip the hypothesis and then conclusion. So we want to write the red piece first, starting with an if, and we want to write the blue piece second, and that piece starting with a then. So that would look like this. If it is an acute angle, then an angle measures less than 90 degrees. So that is our converse of the original statement. We've now replaced the original hypothesis with the conclusion, and we've replaced the original conclusion with the hypothesis. Now we got to decide, is the new one, is the converse true or false? If it is an acute angle, then an angle measures less than 90 degrees. And that is true. All acute angles are less than 90 degrees. Let's do one more. We'll do number 5. Our original hypothesis is if you live in Chicago, and our original conclusion is then you live in Illinois. We want to switch those around for the converse. So the red piece will come first, starting with an if. If you live in Illinois, then you live in Chicago. We've now written the converse of that statement. We flipped the hypothesis and the conclusion. And now we got to decide if that's true or false. If you live in Illinois, then you live in Chicago. That is false. There are plenty of other towns in Illinois. Alright, now let's remember that 4 was true. That if an angle measures less than 90 degrees, then it is an acute angle. And if it is an acute angle, then an angle measures less than 90 degrees. We'll use that for our next example on the back page. From numbers 1 through 10, there should be 5 true converse statements. Write them as biconditional statements. That means we're going to use if and only if instead of if then. So we said from the back side or from the front side that if an angle measures less than 90 degrees, then it is an acute angle is a true statement. Let's write it as a biconditional. We're going to take out the if and the then piece, and in the middle we're going to write if and only if. So, an angle measures less than 90 degrees if and only if it is an acute angle. Now that took quite a bit of room. That answer is only good for problem number 11. But because the original statement was true and the converse of the original statement was true, we could write that as one singular statement using an if and only if instead of an if then, and that is called the biconditional.